I can tell you what inspired the writing of Great Love for Life. At first, I called it Sex for Life because I was like, oh my gosh, the choices we make about what we do with our bodies, how much we understand our worth before God and why He gave us the rules He has for our happiness, for our protection, for our future, that we can avoid so many landmines that the enemy has set for us. It was way back, and our oldest child had just decided that their very best friend was now somebody they liked. And the feeling was mutual, and I was like, oh crap, I thought we had time to put this off. And I knew, because they were more than just mere friends, they had been best friends for a while. They had many things in common. There was a deep trust that usually takes a lot of time when you're talking about just a dating circumstance. But I knew, yes, they were young, but I wanted to help them navigate this. You know, the pitfalls that could happen and how to protect their friendship, how to not do things at such a young age that they would regret, that would set them up for heartbreak. At the same time, I had a new dear friend who had gone through horrific circumstances. She had been married to this guy. He had been cheating on her. She had been devastated. They had gotten a divorce. It was a very cruel situation. We started talking together, praying together, and then enter this guy who took advantage of how vulnerable she was and how much she longed to be loved, how much she had been starved of affection and appreciation and somebody to tell her she was beautiful and make her feel womanly and loved. And just in a couple dates, they were in bed together. And I was just horrified because here she was in this very vulnerable time, this very painful time. And it was just like within a couple weeks, she was devastated because the guy was history. It was awful. So in the midst of this protection over my kids and this situation for this young woman, seeing so many young people just fall right off this cliff and be convinced by the many, many voices from all sides telling them that if it feels good, do it. Just, you're learning, you're sowing your wild oats. It's what everybody does. And if you get pregnant, you just have an abortion. If something happens and you just don't like each other anymore, just cut off the relationship. It's no big deal. And then seeing people stepping into relationships with the baggage that's left from what had happened before, it had just broken my heart over and over. And the deep love for our own children made me go, look, if I was gone tomorrow, what would I want them to know? What do I want all these beautiful young people, even these vulnerable, divorced, long-term singles, what do I want them to know? What does God say about their worth? What does God say about, I know the plans I have for you? Jeremiah 29:11-13. Just so many things were just exploding in my heart. Stories in a form that people would pass into their kids, trying to stop these runaway train wrecks of relationships as these cultural norms just ate them alive. I cannot stand by and watch this anymore. I've at least got to say something. I have to do my part. Thus, Sex for Life, which turned into Great Love for Life, was birthed.